This is Margaret from the Madison Public Library. Welcome to our demonstration of how to make a granny square. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Today we're going to be making this granny square. The supplies that you will need is a crochet hook to match the size of the yarn. Different yarns require different size hooks. You will also need yarn and scissors. It's nice to have a yarn needle. They can be either plastic or steel. And it's also nice to have a stitch marker to hold your place when you have to stop. I'm going to show you some samples of things that you can make with granny squares. Here's a granny square. Here's one in progress. These would be good to go underneath a pot or as a table runner when you make more of them. Here is one that's made out of cotton, which would be very good to make a dishcloth or a face cloth or washcloth. And here's another cotton one that is the size you would want to have for a dishcloth. Here's some more samples I brought of granny squares that can be joined together to make many different projects. For example, here's a granny square afghan that my grandmother made in the 1960s. And here is a sample of a granny square rug that I made out of rug yarn. And that's the samples that I brought today so far. Now I'm going to show you how to choose the correct hook size for your yarn. If your yarn has a label, on the label it's going to show a picture, or sometimes it's written out in words telling you what size crochet hook to use. This says to use an 8 or an H, and H is the size of crochet hook that I am using. If you need to use a slightly smaller or larger hook, that's perfectly okay. If your yarn doesn't say what size to use, I would recommend an H or an I to start with. To begin our granny square, we're going to take our yarn. I've taken my skein and I've made it into a ball because it's easier for me to work from a ball. You can pull from the center of the skein. Usually though, that winds up somewhere along the line making a knot, and that's the wrong end. So you can pull from the center of the yarn and you can work that way. So if you haven't made yours into ball yet, go right ahead and pull from the center of the skein. I'm working from a ball. Usually at home I put my ball in a bowl so it doesn't roll over. But I forgot my bowl today. To begin making a granny square and beginning many of crochet projects, you're going to make a slip knot. To make a slip knot, you're going to cross the yarn over. It makes a loop. You're going into the loop with your crochet hook and you're going to pull the end up. And then you pull on the end, it makes a loop and you can slip it. You do not want to get too tight on the crochet hook. You want it to have a little bit of room to slide. First thing we're going to do is we're going to do 4 chain stitches. To do a chain stitch, you're going to grab the yarn with your hook and pull it through that loop. We're going to make 4 chain stitches just that same way. Grab the yarn with the hook, pull through, that's 2, that's 3, and that's 4. So we have 4 chains, and I think you can see 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're now going to join that and make a ring. And to do that, we put our hook in that loop that we started with, pull the tail out of the way, and grab the yarn with the hook and pull it through that beginning and that loop. So now we have a ring. It's got a little hole in the center. We're going to be going into that center multiple times today. Now we're going to chain again, chaining 3 this time. Pull through, grab the yarn, pull through, grab the yarn and pull through. That makes it a chain 3. Oops. All right. That's going to count as our first double crochet. The next stitch we're going to do is a double crochet. We're going to take the yarn and pull it over the hook. So we've got 2 loops on the hook. We're going down into that hole that we just made and grabbing the yarn and pulling it up. So now we have 3 loops on the crochet hook. We're going to, I loosened it up a little bit so you can see them a little bit easier. You're going to pull through 2 of the loops, go back, grab the yarn, and pull through 2 of the loops, and that is a double crochet. You can see it upside down there. Again, we're going to make another double crochet, so we're going to wrap the yarn around the hook, go down in the hole, grab the yarn with the hook. We've now got 3 loops on our hook. We're pulling through 2, and we're pulling through 2. And that makes the first square motif, for our granny square. Now we're going to make a corner. To do the corner, I'm going to turn it a little bit, and we're going to chain 3, the same way we've been chaining. Grab the yarn, pull through 1, pull through 2, and there's the 3rd one. That's going to make our corner. We're going to do 3 more double crochets into the center hole. Wrap it around, go down into the center hole, grab the yarn, get 3 loops on the hook, pull through 2, and that's, if it falls off, just do it again. Wrap the yarn around, go down through the hole, bring it up through the hole. You've got 3 loops on the hook, pull through 2, pull through 2, and that's your second double crochet. Again, wrap the yarn around the hook, go down through the hole, grab the yarn, pull it up. You've got 3 loops on the hook, pull through 2, pull through 2, and that makes your second double crochet. Again, we're going to make 1 more for this side of our granny square, just the same way that we did the other. So now we've got, pull that up a little bit, we've got the first one that we did, the second one we did, and we're going to make another corner. To make the corner, we're going to, again, chain 3, pull through, grab it, pull through, grab it, and pull through. Notice that I turned it a little bit sideways as I was working, so that now you can see my bottom and my side on my square. We're going into that center hole again. Now this tail, I'm going to kind of wrap around my ring, and I'm going to crochet right over that. So I'm going down through the center hole, grabbing the yarn, pulling it up so I have 3 loops on the hook, pull through 2 loops, pull through 2 loops, and we're going to do that 2 more times. Wrap it around, pull through 2, or go down through the hole, pull through 2, and pull through 2. Again, wrap it around, go down through the hole, pull it up, pull through 2, and pull through 2. So we now have 3 sides, and we're going to chain 3 to make our corner. 1, 2, 3. We're going to wrap it around, and we're going down into that center hole And again, I'm just holding that tail out of the way, so I'm crocheting over it. Pull through 2, pull through 2, that's your double crochet. Wrap it around, go down under, pull through 2, and pull through 2. And our final double crochet in this round, go through, pull through 2, pull through 2. And I'm not sure. Now we're at the final corner. We're making the 4th corner, chain 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to join the square. So we're going back to that first side that we made. We're going to count up 1, 2, 3. We're going into the top of that first chain that we made. We're grabbing our yarn and we're pulling it through. So when we have 2 loops on the hook there, but that's really the yarn that we're working with, and we're pulling it through that. And I'm going to pull that up so I can show you better. We've got our square finished. We've got 4 corners and 4 sides. And if I tug that one into place, then we'll see that we have 3 double crochets making the thing. I'm going to start row 2 now. Row 2 begins by chaining 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to flip my square over. That puts me in position so that I can go into this to start my next row of double crochets. All our double crochets are going to be 3 double crochets in the previous row, and it leaves us nice little holes to fill in. Now we're at the corner, and at all the corners we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're doing double crochets into that same hole that we just used. So there's going to be a total of 6 double crochets in each corner hole. Now once in a while the yarn gets a little stuck and gets a little persnickety, so we just pull that out again and do it over again. Wrap the yarn around, go down in the hole, pull it up, have 3 loops on the hook, pull through 2, pull through 2, wrap it around, go down through the thing, pull it up, pull through 2, and pull through 2. Now we're not at another corner because we have to work this corner square. So to cover the distance between or over the block that we made before, we're going to chain 1. And then we're going to make our double crochet into the corner squares. So we're going to pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over, pull it up, pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over, go down into that hole, pull it up, pull through 2, pull through 2, and we've made the first complete side of the second row, and it's going to have 2 blocks in it, 1 and 2. Then we're making the corner. We're going to chain 3 for our corner, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to go over and go into and do 3 double crochets into the same hole, which is our corner hole. we're going to chain 1, and we're going to do 3 double crochets into the corner, 2, in our 3rd double crochet. Again, because we're at the corner, we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. And I like to turn my square a little bit so I can see that. And we're going to make another set of 3 double crochets into that corner hole. Again, we're going to chain 1 to go over the square below, and then we're making our final corner, chain 3 double crochets in this corner. All right, we're working from the corner. I've done my chains in the corner, and we're going to do 3 double crochets into this corner hole. So I'm wrapping around, going in the hole, pulling up, pulling through 1, pulling through the second one. We're going to do another double crochet the same way that we've been doing all the double crochets, and 1 final double crochet into that corner square. And then I'm going to chain 1. Now, to finish this row, I'm going to count up 1, 2, 3, and I'm forcing my hook through, and I'm pulling the yarn through and going through all the way. Now, I've previously cut this off. If you didn't, you could pull it through and you'd have a loop there and you'd need to cut it. All right, now we're at the point where we're going to weave in the end of this yarn, and to do that we're going to use a yarn needle. There are several different styles of yarn needles, but they all have a large eye and then the shank of the needle. This one's made out of steel, and I'm going to use that one for the demonstration today. What I like to do is I like to pinch the yarn between my thumb and my forefinger, and then line the needle up, the eye up over it, and pull it through. Now we want to work the end of this yarn into it so that our square does not come apart. You want to do this at the end of the row or when you go to change colors. You don't have to do it for every row, just when you're finishing the block or you're changing colors. And you're just looping it through the top loop of the stitch. Now I like to go in the tops of the cluster that I made and then into the next hole. And then that keeps your yarn, your square, from falling apart. At that point, you can cut close to the square, give it a little tug, and that little end usually just tucks itself into the thing. That's one way to finish off the square. Some people like to finish off the square just using their hook. They can't find their needle, they don't have a needle, they don't want to bother with the needle. So in order to do that, you do the same thing. You're going to finish this square off by doing double crochet into the hole, another double crochet, and our third double crochet, into the hole. Then we're going to chain 1, and we're going to count up 1, 2, 3 to the top of that first chain stitch that we did. We're going to pull it through and pull it through. Again, normally you might have a loop like that. You can pull the end through to knot it off. In order to use your crochet hook, you're going to loop through the top to and drag the yarn over. Oops, you want to make sure you go through the loops. Yeah. Or at least one of the loops at the top there. Again, the purpose of weaving the ends in is to protect the integrity of your square so it stays together. If you don't do this down the line after you've used your project, it may come apart if you haven't woven it in enough. So, either way, when you get finished there, you want to cut off close. And then I'm just going to start a row where we change the colors. And to change the colors, you want to, again, make your loop, your starting knot, which is a slip knot. Pull it up closer to your hook. Hold the tail out of the way so you don't use that. And you're going to grab the yarn and pull it through that loop. And again, we're starting a chain. 1, 2, 3. Then I take this tail and I'm going to crochet over that tail. So I'm going to do my double crochet and get that tail sandwiched in between the yarn that I'm crocheting. And it's a pull through 2, pull through 2. Yep. And that tail wants to get in the way, but we want to just work it under so that it's out of the way. Pull through 2, pull through 2, chain 1, and go on to the corner. And we're going to keep going on with the same pattern that we had through. We're going to do 3 double crochets in the corner. We're going to do our corner chains. And then we're going to continue on that side. All right. The one thing I do want to mention is that you are going to wind up with a tail here. And you are going to need to weave that through. I'll use a different yarn needle. And that, again, fold the yarn in half, pinch it tight, and force the yarn through the eye of the needle. This is and then we're going to just kind of go back under where we just crocheted. And you can wait until you've finished your row around before you do this. I'm just doing it at this point to show you that you just want to go through some of those stitches and work that in. And I would even maybe go back through the bottom of the stitches a little bit to make sure that that's firmly woven in and then cut off so that it will stay together. And these will stay together and they won't pull apart, because nothing's worse than having it pull apart. So that's how you weave in the ends, and you've got your finished squares or your unfinished squares, and eventually you can go around and change colors as often as you want or as little as you want. You can even make one great big granny square with, many rows, which is one way to do it, not have to worry about changing colors. Thank you for watching our video. We have a limited amount of yarn available at the library. Please stop in and pick up some and make a granny square or two. Please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. Have a good day.